My first foster home I came into when I was 11 and I turned 12. Actually, my first 3 foster homes, I lived in Tyler, Texas. My 4th foster home, I was 15, 16, Missouri City, Texas, moved to Manville, Texas. From that foster home to my next one, LaPorte, Texas, I lived in Bruceville, Eddy, Texas, and I was 16 to 17. My name is Leslie Hill. I grew up in an abusive home, and when I was 12 years old, I was put into the foster care system. The first 3 siblings are all 2 years apart, and then I came 6 years later. So my mom had already got used to getting back in the swing of doing her own thing. So when I came along, I don't think she was ready. So while my sisters and brothers, they went to school or they hung out with friends, I was at home with my mom, and I had to follow her around doing whatever she wanted to do. She had decided that she wanted to go out and party, and I had to go along with her because I couldn't stay at home by myself. And she was with her friends, and she had gotten really drunk, and she was doing a lot of weed and everything. But I really wanted to go home because I had school that next morning. And we didn't get home until 3 or 4 in the morning. And I was just causing a lot of noise and a lot of chaos in the house because I knew that she'd have a hangover. So it was kind of my way of getting back at her. We got into this big argument, and then she hit me. Later on that night, some ladies from CPS had come, and then I was taken to my first foster home. They kept telling me that it wasn't my fault and that everything would be okay. But in my head, I'm like, I'm never going back home. Once they find out all the things that my mom does, they're not going to allow for me to go back. And I was really scared, and I was crying a lot.
While all youth have to face difficult decisions, one of the differences with youth growing up in foster care is that they have pretty legitimate reasons for being angry. They have been separated from their families. Very often, youth growing up in the foster care system have not had the kind of consistent support that they need to make good decisions.
My behavior started becoming a bit unacceptable. So I was moved to my 2nd foster home. They didn't necessarily believe that I was a good fit to live there either. A lot of the actions that I did, they believed that it was all a part of demon possession. They decided to put me in a mental health hospital, and they decided to tell the psychiatrist that I had multiple personalities. I was really scared, and I felt really alone. For about a year, when I was in my 4th foster home, I stopped talking to my mom, completely, her and everyone else in my family. And my therapist and my case manager called me into the office, and they told me that my mom died. My caseworker decided that it was in everyone's best interest that I was not going to go to my mom's funeral, and I didn't. It kind of affects me now because sometimes I don't know how to act because I miss her. I started doing anything that I could to make myself hurt. I started stealing lighters and started burning myself. This place, it's a residential treatment center. They decided that they were going to take me. There were different girls there that they had their behavioral issues, and to say the least, they got on my nerves. So because I was angry at the world, at myself, at God, at my mom, at everyone, I stole an ice pick from school, and I tried to kill one of the girls, and I was put in a hospital for that. My caseworker had kept telling me that if they can't find a foster home soon, then I would have to go to a juvenile detention center because no other foster homes would take me. Somehow she had got a hold of Mr. Clifford at the shelter, and I was able to move to LifeWorks.
Youth in the foster care system find us largely through our partnership with Child Protective Services. They know that we can respond often immediately to a crisis situation, and that we are also very dedicated to taking youth who others might not want to work with.
When I got to LifeWorks and when I saw how amazing it looked, I was like, all right, this can work. And I fell in love with it from like that very first day. I love the staff. I love all the residents.
I think what makes LifeWorks different is our ability to develop long-term relationships with youth, to really see somebody through from a place of being very scared and unsure to a place of having a vision for their future. We've built up the capacity to do that, and it's very powerful.
The greatest thing that LifeWorks did was get me into Garza Independence High School, and I graduated, and I was really happy. A lot has changed. I am so much happier. I have dreams that I actually believe can be accomplished.
Leslie isn't 100% sure what she wants to do with her life yet, but with the assistance of LifeWorks, we have laid the groundwork for a good future. And not only have we done that for Leslie, we do that for thousands of youth and families every year.
I'm into photography, which I love. I'm in a nonprofit theater group, and we're amazing. I love life. I love smiling, and I don't have to fake it. There's a lot that it's overwhelmingly good, and I thank LifeWorks for giving it to me.